Welcome to episode 11 of the Conscious Call Out. I am Tomasa the self-care queen, and I want you to know that I love helping holistic entrepreneurs create the wealth that they want and deserve in their businesses without compromising their health. I personally cannot stand it when I see a holistic entrepreneur run themselves in the ground when their whole world is about health and wellness for others, but they can't seem to do it for themselves. So what I do is I help get them out of that vicious cycle so they can have it all, health and wealth. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about cookie cutter on this Conscious Call Out. And you might be thinking, what do you mean, Tomasa, about cookie cutter? Cookie cutter, think about it. When you make cutout cookies, you have molds of different shapes of animals, perhaps, or possibly even shapes of gingerbread man. Snowman is something that we've had in the past with my girls. Heart shapes for Valentine's Day, depending on what the occasion is. But you also have the dough. And so the dough can be a variation of a lot of things. It can be vanilla flavor. It can be gingerbread or ginger, which is my favorite. Or it can even be, just brown sugar dough. And so there are different variations of the dough. I wonder if peppermint actually works. That would be an interesting one. Probably not so great. But anyway, chocolate. Anyway, getting back to how cookie cutter applies to business. So there's been a lot of talk out there about cookie cutter. Don't be the cookie cutter. Cookie cutter doesn't work. And so I want to dive in deeper about cookie cutter and what cookie cutter is all about. So cookie cutter is, when you cut out the cookies, you replicate. You replicate the same shape of the cookie, and you put it in your oven and you bake it. And it depends on what kind of oven you might have, electric or gas, and how it bakes. Or it could be on the amount of time that you put them in the cookie. Maybe you forgot about them and the timer went off and you let them stay a little bit longer. So they're harder, they're softer, they break apart. There could be many variations. And that's kind of what shows up in our business sometimes. Do they come out all nice and perfect, like the results are supposed to be? Or do they come out like, all crumbled? Or does it come out like, a little overbaked? So you decide how long you want to keep doing cookie cutter and how much, what shows up, what the results are. So I want to talk a little bit about the dough. Because, you heard me say I love ginger. And so I love gingerbread cookies. That's honest. Those would be my favorite cutout cookies. I also happen to be a holistic practitioner who knows what ginger does for you in your digestive system. And so here's the thing is cookie cutter dough is where your essence gets to come out. And so there's a lot of big programs out there that people sign up for. And sometimes they don't get the results that they want because people are always promising 6 figures doing this. Speak your way to cash or, just do this and you'll earn 6 figures. If you do this telesummit and all that. And then you go and you do it and it ain't happening. What's happened? What's different? Maybe it's your marketing. Maybe it's the market's change. And maybe it's because it worked for that big guru because they got a big name, but you're just like coming out of the trenches and no one really knows who you are and it's not working for you. But what I do know is that these cookie cutters, which we can call templates, can work if you make sure your essence shows up in them. And as a business mentor myself, I've seen how I've tried to throw out the cookie cutter and it doesn't work for my people because then I go, we got to find your essence in this recipe. And so then I began to fill them and help them along the road. And they begin to feel what's right for them. Because the truth is, if I have them do something a certain way, and it's not showing up the results that I know have been proven for myself, then possibly maybe it's not their essence in that template. So how do you bring your essence out in the template? You have to find your own way and that essence. And the same is true when you do sales. So let's talk about how cookie cutter shows up in sales. So many folks believe that having a sales script works. And so it is like the epitome of cookie cutter failure. And it might work for some people, sure. You know, if you got that script memorized and you naturally can do it. Or what I find is that it turns the prospective client off because they can feel the sales pitch coming. And that is the demise of the holistic practitioner or entrepreneur trying to sell, because then they feel like, I really have failed this and this doesn't work. And what's missing? Their essence or your essence. That's why a lot of people put out templates, but then they say, hey, you can sell a person a day. And then, that doesn't always work either. So what works for you? And that's what you have to find. And that's what I teach folks, how to find the energy of their own sales cycle. Because if you can get into that groove of yourself showing up in the sales conversation and not the script or the template, then you can find your true essence and find the clients who are divinely right guided to be your clients. And that's what you have to find out in the cookie cutter concept. So this is Tomasa Makapinlak challenging you as the anchor medicine woman I am to find your essence in your business, whether that be sales or whatever you produce, so that folks say, I want that. I want what he or she has to offer, and I want to work with them or get their product. Namaste.
For more information to help you increase your sales, sign up for Tomasa's upcoming webinar, The 5 Energetic Selling Mistakes That Holistic Entrepreneurs Make That Keeps Them in Bed with Clients Who Aren't Willing to Pay Them for Their True Value, at www.theenergyofselling.com/mistakes.